Hey guys, it's Tally. Welcome to the 11th and final episode of Self-Revolution, the Strength series. In this week's episode, I'm going to go over a little bit of who I am, kind of a quick intro to myself, as well as a recap of the past week, so week 11, the week between the week of the new year. And I'm also going to be giving you a quick intro about what you can expect from the future of this channel, which I am very, very excited for. So I am going to be doing a quick intro about myself to the people who are new to the channel. If you've seen my videos before and you know the spiel about what I did in the last couple of years, go ahead and skip to whatever number this is, because that's when I'm actually going to be starting talking about the recap of this past week, as well as a recap of my bulk and of my lean bulk and of the series in general. So a quick intro about myself. My name is Tally. I've been weightlifting for the last 3 years. I started flexible dieting in April of 2014. I lost 25 pounds between February and July of this past year, eating about 1,740 calories a day. The last few months of that was through flexible dieting, so I'd say I probably lost about 20 pounds through flexible dieting. Mid-July, I actually started reverse dieting to try to build strength and slowly increase the amount of food that I'm eating daily. I went from eating 1,740 calories a day with a macro breakdown of 174 grams of carbs, 152 grams of protein, and 48 grams of fat, to, by the end of October, consuming around 2,500 calories a day, 336 grams of carbs, 152 grams of protein, and 70 grams of fat. But anyway, between July and December, I've been bulking. I finished my reverse diet and I was doing a lean bulk. I was trying to add muscle. The 3 things I wanted to be able to do were, first of all, eat more, because I love food. You guys probably know that about me already. Get stronger, and finally grow my hamstrings, glutes, and back area, because those are kind of underdeveloped. When I cut down, I realized I didn't really have very much muscle there, and those elements, as well as shoulders, are really, really important in bikini competitions. So a quick recap of week 11, which is the week of this video. Week number 9, the week before Christmas, my average weigh-in was 144.9 pounds. Week 10, I didn't actually get a chance to weigh myself because I was at my boyfriend's house and his house didn't have a scale at it. And my average weigh-in for this week, so the week after Christmas, the week of the new year, was 148.1 pounds. Quite a big difference. I know some of that's fat, I know some of it is muscle, I know a good chunk of it is probably water retention and bloating. So there were 2 days this week that I didn't track my macros. New Year's Eve, we went out, my boyfriend and I went out to get Chinese buffet, which is not like us at all if you've watched my past videos. So I didn't track macros for that. And then New Year's Day, I had a couple meals with family members, so I didn't really track throughout the day. There were also 2 days that I had to miss from the gym, one of them being New Year's Day because the gym was closed for some reason. Saturday I also missed my workout because my trial membership had expired. So this week I want to give you guys a recap of my bulk because it is coming to the end. As I mentioned, I was bulking between July and December of this year, so a good 6 months of a bulk, which is not really, it was totally new to me. I never intentionally tried to put on weight. I never intentionally tried to put on more muscle and increase the weight on the scale. So that was definitely new to me. My goals were to really improve my strength, grow muscle, and really improve my relationship with food and overall with my body. Kind of on the side, a really great resource that helped me out with this was Healthy Living Heavy Lifting. Mike Samuels publishes a lot of really great articles. I'll link this right here. Anyway, one of the things that I noticed about myself, and actually about a lot of women in general, we're always trying to lose weight. We're always trying to look skinnier, look smaller. Social media, magazines, the TV is always encouraging us to lose weight, to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so any fluctuation on the scale that's down is positive for us, but any increase in weight is really scary, I think, for a lot of women, and for me in particular it was as well. So for me, Self-Revolution was really about not only developing, you know, my glutes and my hamstrings and my back and my shoulders so that I could cut down and have a better overall package for my next competition, but also it was about kind of revolutionizing my mentality about my body and about what I need to do, because I feel like before I was forever cutting, forever trying to be smaller, forever trying to lose weight, and for me it was really important to say, okay, I am going to now stop caring about the scale, but stop caring if it goes down or not. Try to grow muscle, try to get a little bigger, knowing that even if I do put on a few pounds of fat, I can cut it off. But I was really trying to invest in this mentality of putting on muscle, building muscle, and developing my body, not just always trying to shrink it down, which so many girls are constantly doing, and I really wanted to show that if you take the time to build muscle and gain a bit of weight, even if you do gain weight, that's not the end of the world. The scale shouldn't dictate your mentality about yourself. So that was also kind of the purpose of Self-Revolution. Anyway, getting a little sidetracked with that, from between July and December, I started off in July, my average weigh-in was about 134 pounds. To the end of December, my average weigh-in was about 147 pounds, it is this week. So I did put on about 13 pounds. I went from 16% body fat to 20% body fat, so I definitely did put on a little bit of body fat, but it wasn't all body fat. It was also a little bit of muscle, there's definitely a little bit of bloat here and there, but I think overall this bulk was really, really successful. I think mentally, emotionally, it really put me in a better place, and I think kind of based on before and after pictures, you can definitely tell my glutes and my hamstrings are a bit more developed. I'm really excited about the way my back is looking, as well as my shoulder. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I found it really helpful during my bulk, was to have a cheat meal or a cheat day, as you like to, whatever you like to call it, on Saturdays typically. My approach for this day was not necessarily deprive myself beforehand, but make sure that I'm hitting my protein, try to keep carbs and fats relatively low, just enough so that, you know, I feel satiated, but not trying to hit my fats early on in the day, basically. I probably would have put on a little less weight had I not done these cheat meals, but I think the purpose I did this intentionally. The purpose for me was get over the opportunistic eating mentality that I've always had. I was never diagnosed with any sort of eating disorder, but I think, for lack of a better word, I feel like I did have a binge sense of mentality, or at least I was a very opportunistic eater. So back when I was eating clean, when I was on my cut, if I ever had a cheat meal, it would turn into a huge cheat day, and I would have to shove all this food into myself, because this is the only day, this is 24 hours that I have that I'm not tracking. I need to get as much food into myself as possible just to take advantage of this opportunity. And so with this bulk, I wanted to get over that mentality, because that's not a good relationship with food at the end of the day. There were definitely a few times, especially in the beginning, there were several times where a cheat meal would turn into a cheat day. You know, I would go to a buffet or whatever, I would go to a restaurant, and then I would kind of continue eating. Like, I would go back to my room and try to find all the candy and all the sugary things and all the chocolate in my room, and kind of neglect my diet for the day. But with time, as I had these cheats kind of more frequently, and as they kind of became part of my routine, I started realizing I don't need to consume everything just because I have an opportunity to. And I definitely do fall back into that mindset occasionally, but I think I'm in a much better place than where I started. So I highly recommend, if you're gonna be doing any sort of lean bulk, or if you're just maintaining in general, try to incorporate cheat meals more often, because unless you're trying to get your physique to look a certain way for a show or a photo shoot or something, I think in the long run, improving your relationship with food and improving kind of your mentality around it, kind of relaxing a little bit and becoming better as a whole, is a really good investment. So I highly recommend that. Definitely check out Mike Samuel's article. Anyway, I definitely will be doing a similar bulk in the future, hopefully with a real focus on my strength and on powerlifting. If anybody wants to try it, especially the ladies who are watching this video, I'm talking to you. Be prepared to change your mentality from cutting, from forever dieting, to bulking, to being okay with being a little bit fluffy, to being okay with not necessarily seeing visible abs all the time. Be prepared for change. Change is good, but you gotta be ready for it, and you gotta stay ahead of the game. So if you're 5 pounds heavier than you were 2 months ago, relax. That's the intention. Be prepared for that. It's not all ice cream and Oreos. There were definitely times where I felt gross in the gym, like I felt kind of bloated. I just recently, my boyfriend got me a weight belt for Christmas, and there was a little bit of fat kind of coming out everywhere, and I kind of did feel really self-conscious about it, even though I was eating quite a bit. I was really strong in the gym. I felt like my energy's through the roof lately. It does kind of take a toll a little bit on your mentality to put on a few extra pounds of fat, because that's inevitable with putting on muscle, is putting on fat. So be prepared for that and embrace it, because it's really exciting to get stronger. It's really exciting to eat more. And don't half-ass it. Tip number 2, take your time. Don't say you're gonna go on a 2-week bulk. Don't commit to 4 weeks. Set aside a time, at least 3 months, to bulk, to really get yourself in the mentality to really embrace this change. I notice females rarely bulk unless they've been in fitness for long enough. Even if they're in fitness, even if they're, you know, competing in shows and doing these things, females rarely bulk. And most girls tend to bulk only for a few weeks. You can't really expect to see change in 4 weeks. The change that you will see, it's not to its full potential. The problem with doing really short bulks and really not being ready for them, not being ready for that change, you're not going to see a lot of change in the first few weeks, even in the first month probably. And what I see is a lot of people get discouraged about this because they only see the fluffiness. They don't really see any real gains. And they end up not really wanting to do a bulk in the future because it's not for them. So really take the time, set aside at least 3 months where you know you're not going to be going to the beach, you're okay with being a little bit fluffier, to really commit yourself to bulking, to putting on muscle mass, to learning about your body, to changing your mentality about food. Believe me, it is definitely worth 3 months out of your entire life to do this. You need to give it time. It is for you. You just need to give it time. You need to believe in the process. You need to be really deliberate about it, and you need to be prepared for that change. And I guarantee you, it will be worth your time. Just don't half-ass it, and don't go in expecting to do 2 or 3 weeks, because you're not going to see any really good results. You'll only see the initial fluffiness, and then you'll be discouraged. Then you'll go back to the cutting and forever trying to be smaller mentality. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed my recap of my bulk and hopefully picked up some tips and tricks for yourself as well. Please let me know in the comments below, have you ever done a bulk? What was it like? If you haven't, what stopped you? So I did actually look back at this video and it turned out to be a lot longer than I expected, with myself rambling quite a bit, but I decided to include most of that stuff in there. I hope by including a majority of this information I can help some of you guys and really cover as many bases as I possibly can in terms of tips and tricks for you guys. So I have decided to split up once again this last week into 2 parts. So the first part is what you just watched, obviously, and that's more of a recap of my bulk and kind of letting you know how it ends. So I will be posting a second part to the week 11 videos, so to the final series, most likely on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. And that will include some footage from my leg day, particularly squats, and I do have a couple things to say about that. And I was stretching, which I'm very proud of myself for, as well as some footage of some of the meals that I had around New Year's. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching this, you guys. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, let me know. Hit that like button for me. And as always, don't stop growing. See you guys later.